So we're in the bee yard. I had a customer that wanted a proven overwintered Michigan queen. So I took one out of one of our honey production colonies that we had been saving. It's one of our favorite queens, but I figured we have enough colonies and we have enough young queens that we could let one of these go. But I had an issue of trying to figure out how to get all these bees out of the honey supers. What I ended up doing was newspaper combining, as you can see. The bottom box is part of the colony that had the overwintered queen. This top box is a single deep. There's probably 7 or 8 frames of bees, and it's one of our new 2022 queens that we're gonna try to get through winter. And so we boosted them with the population, half the population from the overwintered colony, but they had this honey super on top, and so I was trying to figure out the best way to move these bees back into the colony without shaking and stuff. It's kind of windy, so I just set the corner up, and as you can see, it's working fantastic. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I can start cleaning up, and by the time I'm done cleaning up, I'm sure these bees will all be in this bottom box. And then within 24 to 48 hours, they'll have removed this newspaper, and this 2022 queen that was once 7 frames of bees will now be 17 frames of bees, and have even more brood emerging, and have a good jump on winter with all the honey stores that is already in this deep. And so we did the same thing. If you can see that colony over there with the lid off, that's the other half of the overwintered colony, and it also has a new queen, 2022 queen on top. Same concept. They're at the original location of the overwintered colony, so they're going to get all of the foragers back from the overwintered colony. Hence why I did this super, transferred the bees from the super into this colony, because I know most of these are going to fly back to the original location of their colony eventually. So just trying to balance the forces as best that I could, and seems to be working. So I don't enjoy shaking bees. They don't enjoy it. They don't enjoy being brushed. So if we can ever come up with a passive way to move the bees, we usually go that route. And it seems to be working. There's a big cluster of bees underneath there, but they'll all move in eventually. And this super should be pretty void of bees, and then safe to put on top of another colony without putting the queen that's below the super at risk. So just another tip in the bee yard. Beautiful day. Kind of somewhat cloudy, but just went through, made sure everybody had room. We're going to be gone on vacation for a couple weeks. So when we come back, we'll be extracting honey from this yard, but just wanted to make sure in the meantime, if there is a flow, that they have somewhere to put it. Then we'll be focusing on treating, getting the mites back down to as close to 0 as we can, and then just letting them backfill their brood nest with the goldenrod, and hopefully they get enough stores that we don't have to feed, or if we do have to feed, it will be minimal. We just hate feeding. It's a lot of work, and I'm not convinced that it's what's best for the bees. There has to be a reason that they take honey into winter, and it has all the antimicrobial, antibiotic properties, as well as the pollen that's in it, adds some protein. It just seems we try to keep things the way nature intended, the best that we can. So just a quick update on Howell. Have a good one. All right, quick follow-up from the last little video. So that ball of bees just was not moving in. They were just balling. So what I did is I put the super on a landing board, and then put the landing board in full contact. And I didn't record it because I was cleaning up, but you can see much fewer bees. They all marched, and the super is pretty void of bees. So it did work. So now I'm just going to put the super on one of our other strong colonies and let them fill it with some honey for the next couple weeks.